My name is Blake Martin. I'm a member of the Entrepreneurs Education Collaborative, which is a volunteer organization, and I'm a volunteer of one of our member organizations, SCORE Omaha chapter. The Entrepreneurs Education Collaborative, who's hosting the entire series, is a collective effort of the following community resource providers: the Better Business Bureau, Catholic Charities, the Greater Omaha Chambers Reach Initiative, Nebraska Enterprise Fund, Nebraska Business Development Center, SCORE Mentors of Greater Omaha, and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Excuse me. So, a long list of acronyms, all of whom have a common mission of helping aspiring and existing small business owners through advocacy and education like these sessions. Speaking of like these sessions, it's another day and it's another new normal for us out there in the business world. The Senate approved more money for testing in a new stimulus bill for hospital testing and coronavirus testing, an extension of the PPP program, details of which are still coming, and talk of gradual easing of social distancing. So we're going to commend you once again for taking steps to remain educating on how best to adapt to this new normal, which really includes expecting the unexpected at this point. And we do want you to know again that the EEC is here to help at no cost local small business owners and operators who are determined to remain the backbone of our local economy. So a couple of housekeeping items real quick before we get going with our presentation. Whether you're watching and listening to this on this Zoom platform or on Facebook Live at facebook.com/groups/GOC please be aware that all participants will be muted throughout the session, and we will be checking questions real time via both the chat function in Zoom and the messaging section on Facebook. So feel free to start submitting questions right now, or any questions that you have before, during, and after the presentation. And we'll try to cover all of those questions during this session today. We will be recording this session, and it will be posted to both of those Facebook pages, which are, again, going to Facebook and typing in Entrepreneurs Education Collaborative or typing in GOC Reach. By the way, we've got 2 more sessions coming up directly after this. One on Friday that is a Spanish language version of the banking update that we provided on Monday. And that is at 11:30 a.m. this Friday. Also 11:30 a.m. next Monday is a session on adapting and keeping your marketing going during this unique time with marketing professionals from our local area. Getting to today, today's featured speaker is Jeff Niebaum, a Senior Communications Specialist with the Better Business Bureau that covers our Heartland area, and he's based here in Omaha. Jeff is a Heartland native with a bachelor's and master's at Midland University and UNO, respectively. And he spent a good decade in his communication leadership role at the Better Business Bureau. By the way, he's also a longtime Ronald McDonald House volunteer, so somebody who believes in giving back to the community for sure. Jeff's going to talk about our subject of the day, protecting yourself from corona-related scams, as well as 2 things that the Better Business Bureau has done well forever: building trust in trying times, and how to strengthen your brand during a crisis. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff, and I thank you very much for volunteering your time today, Jeff. We appreciate your contributions.
Well, thank you, Blake, and thank you to the EEC for allowing me to speak. I know as far as myself and the Better Business Bureau, we are proud to be a part of the EEC because great things happen in collaboration, especially in times of crisis. And I think that's very evident with the sessions that have gone on so far and that will continue to go on because education is important. And again, especially in times of crisis. So I am going to pop up my screen here and we'll get going. All right, well, hopefully everybody can see my screen. So my name is Jeff Niebaum, and I am the Senior Communications Specialist for your Better Business Bureau. And I'm going to talk a little bit about today about some of the scams that are surrounding COVID-19. Unfortunately, in times of crisis, especially with this one, since there's so many uncertainties, scammers take advantage of it. and they're very good at their jobs. So hopefully through today's session, we'll be able to educate you and allow you to go out and share the information, because just like it says on the screen, education is your best defense. So let's get started here. Okay, a little history about the Better Business Bureau. For those who are not as familiar with us, we are an organization that was started back in 1912. And as you can see, some of the old school ads I like to put up there, especially I like to draw attention to the bottom right one, that they're happy because they eat lard. Now, I've never met somebody in my, I mean, I'm only 34, but I've never met somebody in my life that likes lard. But these were the type of ads that were going on back in the day. And a group of business owners got together and said, we got to stop these fake ads and false promises from going out to the public. And we have to hold these businesses accountable. And so that's how the Better Business formed. And our mission has always been advancing marketplace trust. And so we've been doing that since 1912. Here locally, our Better Business Bureau was created back in 1936. And we are a not-for-profit organization. And so we are profited by our members, who we call our accredited businesses. And we have nearly 10,000 accredited businesses, which makes us one of the largest Better Business Bureaus in North America. Altogether, there's about 100 BBBs across the US, Canada, and in Mexico. And our Better Business Bureau covers all Nebraska, South Dakota, everything in Kansas except Kansas City metro area. And then we cover 8 counties in Southwest Iowa. So geographically, we are also one of the largest Better Business Bureaus, which we're very proud of. Last year alone, we had nearly 3 million instances of service, whether it's people reaching out to us about a scam, checking on a business, doing a presentation, a community program. All things we're very, very proud of to help our community grow and educate everyone. So let's jump into the scams part of the conversation. There's a lot of scams surrounding coronavirus or COVID-19 because, again, scammers are taking advantage of crisis situations. And the first one on the far left I would like to bring your attention to is phishing scams. And I'm sure if you check your junk box in your email, and hopefully they're in your junk box. I know some squeak through to your inbox, but scammers have been sending out tons of phishing emails trying to draw your attention and get you to click on them. Again, they create that false sense of urgency, and they take advantage of those people that might not be as educated about what's going on. And unfortunately, people do fall for it. And scamming is a billion-dollar business. And just like you and I have our full-time jobs, that's what scammers do as well. And they're very, very good at it. They use social engineering, they use social media, they use technology. And unfortunately, with technology, as it grows and grows and grows, it also helps scammers as well. So again, going back to education is your best defense. And if you think you're too smart to be taken by a scam, that's your first issue right there, because just like I said, scammers do this for a full-time job, and they're very good at it. And a lot of the smartest people I know have been taken by scams. So going back to the email scam, I'd like to point out a couple red flags that we always educate people on and to have people pay attention to. First, in the subject line, they really talk about coronavirus masks are selling out. And so they create that urge of urgency, and they have that big headline that really draws your attention in. And so be careful about that, especially when it's surrounding the current variant of COVID-19. If you go to the next line, you can see misspellings are a huge red flag of scams. And fortunately for us, scammers have not learned how to hire an English professor or a professional writer to really amp up their scam attempts. And if they did, we'd actually be more in trouble. But luckily for us, We always tell people to watch out for punctuation errors, misspellings. As you can see in the headline, there's some capitalized words, there's some not. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And then you have the misspelling, and then that big call to action. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to get you to click on the click here button. And that'll take you to a form that you can fill out more information. Usually it's very sensitive information like your bank account, credit card, address. And you also run the chance of opening up that link and sending malware or a virus on your computer. So you really have to be aware of what's going on and really stop to think before you click. Going to the middle example, government relief scams. I mean, I know with everything happening in the last few hours on Congress passing another huge amount of money to be sent out, there's a lot of details that aren't clear yet. And so again, scammers are going to take advantage of this uncertainty, and they're going to urge you, because people are in the mode of they want something right now, and they want to be first. And so they know this. And so in this example, they use a text message to get to you. And a lot of people check their phones. And in this example, they said, Brittany, $1,000 is here to support you through this outbreak. Click here. And if you are really vulnerable and you really need money right now, they're probably going to click on it because they are just uneducated, which is our job as the Better Business Bureau, and now you too, as ambassadors that have heard this program, to really go out and educate them and keep them from falling from what seems to be a too good to be true moment. But again, if you really need that money, your curiosity will get a hold of you, and you will probably click on that. Again, it'll take you to a form that will make you fill out your sensitive information, and then you also run the risk of putting malware on your computer or on your phone. Social media scams. We have seen a huge increase in social media scams, not only during the coronavirus, but actually the last 2-3 years. As social media keeps growing and growing and more people join it, scammers are taking advantage of this. And in this example, it's a $100 gift card to Starbucks. I mean, scammers know we all love our coffee, and they know we love our Starbucks. But I have never heard Starbucks give out gift cards unless it's your birthday. But a big red flag here is if you look at the URL at the bottom, it's socialdistancing.com coupons. There's nothing in there about Starbucks. So you really have to be careful. And the most vulnerable population to these kind of scams is our young adults. And like I said, most of them are too quick to click. They don't think about things. They want things right now. If they see an offer, they're like, oh, I got to take advantage of that. And scammers know this. So you've really got to help educate our young people. So if you have a son, daughter, a grandchild out there, please warn them about the social media scams out there. And it's an old saying we've used all the time. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. One new scheme that I've seen break out over the last weekend is this quarantine circle game. And it's a republished scheme that came back from 2016. That was it involves a Ponzi scheme. And basically how this works is you have a leader. In this case, it's Nate, and he recruits 8 people to join his circle. And each person to join their circle has to pay him $100. And then those people have to recruit people, and they have to pay $100. Once the full circle is filled, Nate will take his money, and he will leave. The circle will split into 2 different groups. More recruiting will take place. This is a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme, and it is illegal. I know I've seen this hundreds of times on social media, especially on Snapchat or Instagram. And this is a scheme, though. I've been personally approached about 15 times. And every time I always tell people, and I think they probably get annoyed with me because I don't want to join, but I'm like, I don't want to participate in a legal act. And so we really have to warn people, because people are wanting to make that money, and they're wanting to make a quick dollar. But this is not the way to do it, through Ponzi schemes. So if you see this going out there, please say something and help warn them. IRS scams. IRS scams have been huge for as long as I've worked for the Better Business Bureau and well before that. Because again, there's a lot of complexities when it comes to taxes, and especially since the deadline has been pushed, gives scammers that extra chance to really try to fool people. In this example, it's actually IRS is giving back money because they found some extra money that they were eligible for. And all they have to do is, well, you guessed it, click on that link and fill out the form, which probably in this case includes your social security number. And as soon as you hit submit, your identity probably has been stolen. So IRS will never send you an email. They'll never call you on the phone. And if you do get that letter in the mail, please just don't look at the number and call that number directly, but look up your local IRS office and call that number to see if there really is an issue that you're involved in. The next, we have hijacking scams. And BBB's name has been used in hijacking scams for a long, long time. Scammers will use legitimate organizations like BBB, like the SBA, like the FBI, like the FTC, because they know those are trusted sites and trusted sources, and they'll use their names to trick consumers into believing that things are actually coming from them. In this example, you can see who it's from. It says BBB exclusive, and this one's about hand sanitizer. And the Better Business Bureau has never been in the hand sanitizing business. We probably never will. I mean, I know it is a hot commodity right now, but I'm gonna guess that we probably never will get into that business. But again, it's creating that urgency that we're giving away to our members. This is an exclusive. And what do you see again? You see a link to click on. Next, business email compromise scams. Our Better Business Bureau is a part of an initiative. 4 other BBBs that are joined us, and they are Dallas, Chicago, St. Louis, and San Francisco. And we do in-depth investigations about the top scams, kind of like what 60 Minutes does. We hired Steve Baker, who's the former head of the FTC Midwest Division, to be our lead investigator. And we really hone in and really dive deep and expand the knowledge about these scams. And business email compromise scams is one of the biggest problems targeting businesses right now. Small businesses and large businesses as well. And in this example, you can see that Peter, who is supposedly the CEO of the company, is emailing payroll because he needs his banking account information updated so he can get his salary sent into his new account instead of his old account. And again, if you look at the email, there's some punctuation errors, there's periods, there's extra spaces, there's some a new sentence that's not capitalized. But again, if you are the payroll person and you see an email from your boss, I mean, I always perk up a little bit when I get an email from my boss, and I say, okay, I got to check this out right away. I don't want to disappoint them, and that's what scammers are banking on. They're banking on that the thought process will go out the window, and that you will focus on completing the task without asking any questions. And businesses need that double verification process in place, whether it's a simple phone call or emailing the CEO directly to counteract what the scammers are trying to do. Double verification can save you a lot of time and a huge headache, and most importantly, a lot of money. So if you don't have that in place in some rhyme or reason, you definitely need to put it in place. So double verification, especially when it comes to sensitive information and changing bank accounts or sending money. All right, work from home opportunities. As unfortunately, as some of us have been laid off or are in furlough, work from home opportunities seem more attractive. And scammers know this. And so they are sending out fake ads to even legitimate sites or sources like your local newspapers. But some big work at home opportunities that we've seen so far are internet businesses. I mean, I think there's no time when you're just sitting at home that you're just like, oh man, maybe I should start that business that I've always wanted to. And oh, I saw an ad that will offer me help to really start my business. And so you'll call them and you'll be hooked. Another big thing is mystery shopping. I mean, we all think of mystery shopping of going to a physical store and being a shopper, but since technology and online shopping has become such a huge part of who we are, scammers are using online shopping scams to really hone in, to bring people in and attract people, because you can do it from your office and it doesn't take much effort, but you really got to be careful. Other work at home scam opportunities include rebate processing, medical billing, and even envelope stuffing. I mean, envelope stuffing is probably one of the easiest things out there. But again, if it seems pretty easy, that's got to be a red flag that pops up. And speaking of those red flags, if there's no information or little information about the company, whether it's in the ad or hopefully you do your research, and if you don't find a bunch of information out there about this company, stay away, because it is probably not a legit organization. Some other red flags are you will always probably have to pay an upfront fee to work at home, which, I mean, if you have to, you should stay away from it. And if you're in conversation with those scammers about working from home, they'll say, oh, don't worry, it's just a small upfront fee, and then they'll promise you a big income. So they'll try to trick you and say, hey, you might have to pay a little bit now, but it'll be well worth it because your income will be huge. So if you can pay attention to those three red flags when it comes to those work from home opportunities, if you're trying to seek work from home because you are furloughed or laid off, just be careful about it. And if you know somebody that is trying to do that as well, please share this information, because we want to help stop people from being scammed. So what do you do with these scams once you've been targeted, or you've been called, or you've been emailed? BBB has created a really cool tool called BBB Scam Tracker. And what Scam Tracker is, it's an interactive map, and you can see on the screen right now a picture of North America, and you can see all the scams that have been relayed to us. And the great thing about this is you can zoom in to your state, you can zoom into your city, and you can see the scams that have been reported. And even if you don't lose money, please report these scams. The process is really simple. And again, this tool is to help educate people of what is going around their area. And we urge you to check it out at least once a week, especially now since there's a crisis going on, because it could be a valuable tool that could save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a big headache. So BBB Scam Tracker, you can go to just bbb.org/scam tracker, and you can check it out and educate yourself. So some other ways that we're here to help both consumers and businesses is our website. We always tell people to do their research when hiring a company, especially right now if you're purchasing things online. There's a lot of fake sites out there. So just take 5 minutes and go to our website. And if we're not your first stop, hopefully we're your last stop before signing that contract or making that online purchase. Again, 5 minutes of research can save you a lot of time, money, and a big headache. And our website offers some great information about not only accredited businesses, our members, but also non-accredited business as well through our business profiles, where you can check out the history of the business, complaints or customer reviews about that business. And it just gives you a little bit more information and satisfaction, so you really know who you're working with. You can build that trust that you know you're hiring a legit organization. We offer letter grades just like on companies, just like in school, A through F. If a company has that F rating or D rating, you definitely want to stay away from them, because it probably means that they don't answer their complaints. They've had a lot of complaints. They've had a lot of problems or issues, and so you definitely want to stay away from them. And again, you just want to educate yourself so you can make a sound decision when hiring a company or making that online purchase. So if you have hired that company or made that online purchase, we offer 2 ways that you can really tell us about it. If it involves money, we want you to file, and there's a problem, we want you to file complaints. You can file a complaint against a non-accredited business with the BBB and an accredited business as well. And if there is an issue and it's legitimate, please do file a complaint with us, because we will help you really navigate that process and hopefully we can bring the businesses together. Now, if it's an accredited business, they sign a contract with us when they became accredited that says if there is an issue, we will work with you and the consumer to solve it. If we go through the same process if it's non-accredited, but there's no obligation to. But if they're a legit business, if they have good standings, then they will work with us. And we see a lot of non-accredited business work with us as well, which is very, very good to see. When it comes to customer reviews, Better Business Bureau's customer reviews are like no other review sites out there, because we use a double verification process. Unlike Google or Amazon or Yelp, anybody can really write anything up there. And with BBB's reviews, how we double verify is we reach out to the customer, and we reach out to the consumer and the business to see if there was a transaction actually made, and if the consumer was actually a customer. And we want the most trusted information up there. And so that's why we do this double verification process. We take that extra step because we know when people are coming to our website that they're expecting information they can trust. And so if you have a great experience with a business, please tell them about it, because it's satisfaction for that business. And if it's a negative one, please write it as well, because businesses can learn from situations so they can better themselves and better their policies and procedures and become a more trusted business. Again, it goes back to our theme right now during the coronavirus crisis, is building trust in trying times. And this is such a key time for organizations to build that trust, because they want people to be able to, in all the uncertainties and their daily lives of chaos, they want to be able to trust the business when they come to them. They just don't want to deal with the hassle anymore. So this is a great time for businesses to really look back on their own policies, procedures, how they're communicating, and see if they can amp it up a little bit or improve them. And if you do that, it will definitely pay off, not only now, but in the future as well. So some specific resources that we've created around the coronavirus is we created a tips website that offers some really key articles to help you navigate the coronavirus, whether you're consumer or business. We have some awesome articles that are always updated pretty much daily on new things that are coming out, whether it's the stimulus package, whether it's information about loans for businesses. We have some great information about scam alerts that are going on, working from home tips. So it's just a great resource to have handy and check daily to see how you can educate yourself, because again, once we kind of go back to normal, a lot of the same things that we've learned through this crisis, we're going to continue to use, like video conferencing. It's a great technology that a lot of people haven't taken advantage of, and because of that, Zoom bombing has kind of been born. But again, you'll learn from people learn from their mistakes or situations, and they'll improve that. So when they do go back to normal, they'll continue to use it and learn from everything. If you're a business, we have an awesome website for you. You can go to bbb.org/coronavirus-business, and we have some great resources for you and great articles that really help you build that brand, and things that you can do about communicating to your employees and your stakeholders and your clients to build that trust. So please check that out if you're a business, because it will only benefit you and make you a stronger business in these trying times. We have some great resources for our states. For the example I put up is from Nebraska, but we have information for organizations, key organizations that can really help you during these times. So please check that out on our website. You just have to go to bbb.org, and you can click right through to it and check out these organizations, because we're here to help you. just like the EEC and what we're doing. We're here to help you, so please take advantage of that, because a lot of it is free information, and you want to be as educated as possible right now in these times. So just wrapping up, it's important to stay up to date and keep educating you on the process. One way the Better Business Bureau does that, and this is a shameless plug because I run our social media, is that I push out up-to-date information on our social media channels. So if you are very involved in social media, or even if you aren't, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. The information is up there. And again, help share it, especially if it's a scam, because again, we want to educate as many people as possible, because education is your best defense. And if you ever have a question come up, you can email us, you can call us. Our information is right there at the bottom of the screen. So with that, I want to say thank you and for listening, and we can open up to any questions that there might be.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Looks like thus far we may have a quieter group than we've had on some sessions. Maybe that's because it's a pretty straightforward topic and you get pretty specific on things to do. Samantha, do you see anything coming in through the Facebook live feed?
I don't have Facebook.
No.
I don't have the Facebook live feed. I think Winsley does. Winsley, do you see anything there, bud?
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
This is Jerry Phelan.
Hey, Jerry.
What have you seen, like in the coronavirus scams right here in Omaha? You mentioned several different ones. Are those things you're seeing nationally, or are those actual Omaha instances?
So the things that I showed up on screen here, and I'll go back real quick for you. So these examples are all examples that our staff has received.
Okay.
So these are happening in our community. That's why I wanted to really showcase these scams, because if they're happening in our community, they're happening all over. And it's kind of a misnomer that, since we live here in Omaha, we're a trustworthy community, nothing's ever going to touch us, but that could be further from the truth. So you have to be vigilant, you have to be educated, and stay on top of the most up-to-date information. So yes, all these examples that I have come from our staff and that are targeting our communities.
Wow.
We have one that came in on the chat. Do you have to be a BBB member to get help if you've been a victim of the scam?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We help the whole community, whether you're accredited business, non-accredited business, you're a consumer. And even if you're out of our service area, please give us a call, because we will help you. And especially when it comes to a scam, because we know how smart these scammers are, and we want to help solve the situation, especially if it involves sending money. We want to stop that before that happens. So yes, whenever in doubt, just give us a call and we will help you.
Hey Jeff, this is Guadalupe. Question about the Britney scam. I've gotten a lot of those, and what I have done is block them, but I continue to getting those. What are your suggestions on that? Keep sending those to you, or?
Yeah, you can. We always want you to keep reporting the scams, and you can go to Scam Tracker to do that, because what Scam Tracker does is we look at it and we see trends from the Better Business Bureau perspective, and then that's when we really create those alerts to send out to everybody in mass. We also partner with local law enforcement that really pays attention to Scam Tracker, and even the FBI. Because we're all in this together to help stop scams. So if you see it keep popping up, you're doing a good job of blocking it, because you can do that and you should do that. But unfortunately, scammers will just bring up another site, create a different profile, and keep the messaging going. So, but yes, always report it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
How about on the other side of that, Jeff? So if you've had a positive experience with a local business, is there a place to report that, provide them a review or testimonial, so to speak, with the BBB?
Yeah, that will go back to our customer reviews. And we want you to go to our website. You can search the company directly and write a customer review. And especially when it comes to customer reviews, people often think negatively, but it's so important to, if you had a positive experience with the business, to reach out to them and let them know. You can go to our website, you can go to their website, but whatever you do, let them know. Let them know you're doing a good job, especially in these trying times, because there's so much chaos going on and negativity, and that positive explanation can really uplift a business and verify that they're doing a great job.
That's awesome information to know. I have always just thought about it as you have a bad experience, you utilize Better Business Bureau, but that is definitely good news to know that we can also report positive information as well.
For sure, for sure. We actually like to hear about the positive stuff more than the negative stuff. So
absolutely.
Sure you do. So if we don't have additional questions coming in, we're about to wrap up right on schedule. Do you see anything else, Samantha or Winsley, that we should be posing before we do our close here?
Looks like we do not have any questions on Facebook, so I think we are good to go.
Okay.
That is correct.
Thanks, guys. So Jeff, once again, thank you so much. I know, like many of us, you're exceedingly busy right now, so we really appreciate you donating your time to help out today, both for this and for recording that people will be able to hear when we post it after the session. Speaking of sessions, we do have 2 upcoming sessions, as I mentioned in the beginning. Watch for, via your email and through our social media, we'll be posting a link to Friday's session, which is a Spanish language session about the banking environment and updates on the banking environment. So our partner, Juan Sandoval, will be speaking about that subject on Friday at 11:30. Also on Monday, we'll have a session on marketing to survive and thrive. That will, like all of our sessions, be at 11:30 a.m. on Monday, and that'll be led by 2 marketing executives with lots of experience in town. The link to that and the information that I just spoke about has been posted just now in the chat box. So you can use the link to register for Monday's session right now. And again, watch for posting to our social media and events pages on Facebook with the Entrepreneurs Education Collaborative, and also the Greater Omaha Chambers Reach, which is GOC Reach on Facebook. We'll have the links there to get to both events, both Fridays and Mondays. So again, this session has been recorded, and we will be posting it to our Facebook platforms, including this Q&A at the end. If you have any additional questions that you didn't get a chance to answer after listening to those recordings, that does include recordings of all of the previous 8 sessions that we've done in this series. And we'll post all of our sessions onto the Entrepreneurs Education Collaborative page on Facebook. So if you have any questions, you can also reach out to our partner organizations, which you can see in our logos in the background here. We're happy to make sure that we triage your question to the right local community resource partner within our collaborative. We want to thank you all again for joining us today. And one more big thanks to Jeff with the Better Business Bureau. We appreciate you donating your time today. Thank you for all of the insight. All of you have a wonderful day. Stay strong and keep adapting. That's how we're going to come out of this better together.